this is Reaper here, and today I'm bringing you another League of Legends guide, this time on Ashe the Frost Archer. We're going to be going over abilities, masteries, runes, and an item build I like to use for this. It's going to be a basic ADC guide. At the end of the video, of course, I'm going to have some game footage like I always do for y'all. A few things on Ashe before we get started. Summoner spells, flash, and heal. I like that this time I put it in the front of the video. You use those with most ADCs. Pros about her, she can pretty much chase almost any enemy champion down with her abilities because most of them slow. Cons, no real disengage unless you use her ultimate, which you don't always like using that for, getting away. You want to use it to do damage, right? So that's the con about her. But you can use her abilities to stop, turn around, slow them down, and then keep running. But most of the time, you're still going to get chased down doing that because you have to stop. So let's go ahead and get into her abilities. Off with her passive focus. While out of combat, Ashe gains stacks of focus. When Ashe has 100 stacks of focus, her next basic attack will critically strike. Explains itself. Decent passive. If you time it right, you can do a lot of damage. Frost Shot, her Q. While active, each of Ashe's basic attacks slow her targets. This drains mana with each attack. Remember that, it drains mana with each attack. So turn it on when you're chasing enemies down. Turn it off when you're done killing them or they've gotten too far away from you. Her W, Volley. Ashe fires 7 arrows in a cone for increased damage. Volley also applies Ashe's current level of Frost Shot, so it will also slow them down even more with her Frost Shot if it's active. But the thing about the Volley is it's her main damaging ability besides her ultimate. But if there's minions in the way or anything like that, the arrow's gonna stop on the first thing it hits, so whether it's a minion or another champion or whatever. So you have to watch for that and aim it well. Her E, Hawk Shot. Ashe gains bonus gold when killing enemy units or structures. Ashe can activate to send her Hawk Spirit on a scouting mission. So use this for visibility. A lot of enemy champions sometimes don't realize that it's just for visibility, and they'll try to move away acting like it's a damaging ability. But you'll use this to, help you out with, you're going into enemy territory. Or if you know they're hiding in the bush, you want to make sure that they're there. Her ultimate, Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Ashe fires a missile of ice in a straight line. If the arrow collides with an enemy champion, it deals damage and stuns the champion for up to 3.5 seconds, based on how far the arrow has traveled. In addition, surrounding enemy units take damage and are slowed. So this is a cross the map ultimate, kind of like Lux's. You can shoot this from anywhere on the map and you can go across the whole entire map until it runs into a champion. So you can use this, like I said, for a disengage because it stuns the enemy champions. You can use it to help your team out. If you're back in the base or you're down in your bottom lane and you can aim it right and time it right, don't waste it. You can help your team out by doing more damage and stunning them so they can catch up with the enemy champion, or getting away. If they're getting ganked or something like that, you might be able to help them out with that. You can get a lot of skill shots with it, and they're really awesome. So point system, or leveling the abilities. First point's going to go into W. Second point, most of the time, is going to go into Frost Shot. Sometimes you can put it into Hawk Shot. The E, if they're getting in the bushes a lot, it's just pissing you off. But first point in W, second point in Q, third point in E. Or you can go ahead and put your third point in W and then E. And then you're going to max out W, max out Q, max out E. So W first, Q second, E last. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into our Masteries. In her Masteries, there's going to be two builds that I show you really quick. They're not really a whole lot different, but I'll show them to you anyways. I like to use what I call an ADC defensive mastery page. We're going to have 21 in offense and 9 in defense, none in utility on this one. We're going to put 4 in Fury for that attack speed, 3 in Brute Force for that attack damage in the end game, Butcher for doing extra damage to the minions, Feast, killing a unit restores 3 health and 1 mana, and then Executioner dealing additional damage to targets below 50%. Martial Mastery for additional attack damage, Warlord for that bonus attack damage, Devastating Strikes for armor penetration, Frenzy for critical hits grant additional attack speed for a few seconds, and then Havoc for that overall increased damage. And then in your defense, we're going to have Block, Recovery for that extra health per second, Veteran Scars, Unyielding for that resistance to enemy champions, and then the Juggernaut, of course, for plus 3% maximum health. The other one, the utility, everything's the same in offense. Defense, we only have 2 in recovery and 2 in block. And then we go over here to utility with 3 in fleet of foot for the additional movement speed, 1 in your meditation for some mana regain, and then 1 in your alchemist for your potions and elixirs duration increase. So I generally go with the defense on Ashe. With my faster champions, I'll go with this to increase mobility and everything like that. You can also go with this with Ashe to give her increased mobility. So let's go ahead and head on to the runes. Okay, so on the runes, nothing really fancy. We're gonna go with the attack speed on the quints, attack damage all the way around on the marks, armor on the seals, and then on the glyphs we're gonna go with 5 of the flat magic resist, and then we're gonna go with 4 of the scaling magic resist. That helps you out with the abilities in the beginning of the game against the enemy ADCs, and then of course at the end game against those mid laners and stuff like that, you know. So nothing really fancy. Let's go ahead and go over to the items now. But I have this zoomed in so the cursor's going to be off a little bit, but on the starting items, 99% of the time I take Adorn's Blade, Health Pot, and Warding Totem. My first recall, I try to generally rush a Bloodthirster, and I won't go back. I'll stay a little extra longer than most people like to, so I can get that BF sword on my first return. If I can't, if I have to go back before that, or if I get killed or whatever, I'll try to get a Vampiric Scepter and the boots. The core, you're going to be your Bloodthirster. I know it's been nerfed a little bit, but it still has incredible lifesteal and good attack damage, and it also gives you a shield extending your max health if you get above that, you know, from your lifesteal and stuff. Static Shiv for your increased attack speed, 20 increased critical strike chance, and then your increased movement speed, and also that 100 bonus magic damage to 4 targets after it stacks up. Your Infinity Edge, of course, for your increased attack damage, critical strike chance, and critical strike damage. Blade of the Ruined King for its attack damage, lifesteal, and attack speed, and also its active deals 10% of the enemy champion's maximum health, and then heals you for that amount. So it can heal you for a great amount if you're attacking a tank or using it on a tank. And then your Berserker Greaves. Now the situational items are, this is how I build in that order. Of course the boots, will pop them over there in front of the Static Sheath, but everything else in that order. The situational item, the last item, your Black Cleaver, I put it in there because of its cooldown reduction, health, and attack damage, and it also does give you some armor penetration if you don't want to take the Last Whisper. So it does give you cooldown reduction too. The Frozen Mallet for a lot of health, a little bit of attack damage, but it also will basically help you stack with all of your slows because basic attacks will slow the enemy champion. And then your Last Whisper, of course, if they have really tanky champions or multiple tanky champions, this is going to help you out a lot. Your defensive items, generally, you're really not going to have them, but if you need to, if it gets really in-game and you need something to help you swing, the Guardian Angel gives you armor and magic resist, and if you take lethal damage, it's going to, after 4 seconds of stasis, give you 30% health and mana, coming back from the dead, basically. Your Banshee's Veil is going to give you increased health, magic resist, and then base health regain. But its biggest thing about the Banshee's Veil is it grants a spell shield that blocks the next enemy ability. That's any enemy ability. And this shield refreshes after no damage is taken from enemy champions for 40 seconds. So it does have quite a bit of a cooldown, not a huge cooldown, so it's up faster than you think it is. But it will help you block an ability, so you might get that ultimate that gets hit on you. It didn't mean shit. Alright, that's pretty much going to do it for the items. I'm going to give you some game footage, and I'll catch y'all at the end of the video. Alright guys, so how'd y'all like that pentakill? Not too bad for pretty low level, all across the board everybody. A few things. Remember her abilities. W max out first, Q second, E last. Okay, E really just for vision. That's all it's used for. Summoner spells, we already went over those. Pretty much covered everything. Ashe is really fun to play. It does take a little bit to actually do well with Ashe. She can also be used in support for her slows, but I rarely ever see her used in support. So just have fun with her. That's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. If y'all have any questions or comments about anything we discussed in this video, leave them in the comment section down below. If you like the video, hit the like button please, and subscribe to the channel because we have plenty of guides out right now. We have plenty more coming out in the future, and we have other games that we're starting to broaden out to. So hope y'all enjoyed. Y'all have a good one. I'll catch y'all on the next one.